Hello, hello. Oh, we're starting off the stream with a good stretch and a good sit-up. Don't die. How you doing, Kel? Alright. Time to try and not hyperfixate on literally everything I have to do today. Oh my god, you're in every place, everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. Before I get started, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's been subscribing to me over on the YouTube. Particularly, I can see over on my end, at least over here, Puppeteer Storyteller and Lave the Far. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Alright, I forgot that we're gonna clean up this sword because it looked bad. It looked real bad. We're gonna fix it. Hi, Chips. How you doing? Like a no dog, you better run. Oh my god, we got it. Ooh, ooh, first thing in the morning. Oh, it's a little bit crooked. We're gonna try and get some of this going here. And we're going to make Taryn a stabby stick. You know? Because that's important. The ooh-wooning. The path woojin. I can't. I saw enough ooh-woo and enough booty and enough anime titty for a one person over 3 days. I do have the pathogen. I'm compromised. Bury me. Probably just bury me in the backyard. Take me out to pasture. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I was at an 18+ con all weekend selling kids books because that's a smart fucking idea. And I lived somehow. I don't know. Hey, James. How you doing? I hope your work shift starts, or it goes well today, I should say. I cannot think. I'm glad I get to finally draw this fucking sword. This is Taryn's grandpa's sword. Which is funny. This whole world is so funny to me because it's just a bunch of, shitty supremacists playing medieval dress-up. Taryn himself is not a shitty supremacist playing medieval dress-up, but the people who founded the city that he's a part of are shitty supremacists, and they wanted to play medieval dress-up, and that's really funny to me. I really like this, like, flower petal design here. Brain go burp. My brain don't do nothing. I'm just, oh god, no, I am Oh god, my brain is potato soup. And then I don't know. Okay, I have an am I the asshole question. The am I the asshole question is I have students, I like typically try and get shit graded within a week, but this week was particularly bad because I had to go to a convention and I was like dying and all that good stuff. And I had a student who's like, "Yeah, it's been a week and you haven't graded my shit yet. What's going on?" And I kind of want to fight him. Is that bad? Oh, I want to make Danganronpa versions of my other OCs. That's pretty cool. I've never seen Danganronpa either, but that is very cool. But yeah, Court of Snakes. Yeah, if you want to read about these supremacist assholes, Court of Snakes is the one. Okay, yeah, because that's what I thought. It goes in and then out. Hold on. So then this thing goes... Hold on. In. I'm going to go like this because otherwise it's going to be weird. I know that that's not technically... Well, actually... Or no, wait. I'm a big old dummy. No, this is right. I'm... No, it's okay. It's okay. It's alright. I just have to trust myself. I know it's gonna look weird and the perspective is gonna look wrong, but that's correct. It's right. Oh my god, what is happening? Is my mother calling me? No, it's suspected spam. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. This is the cover for the special edition. So this is gonna be both books 1 and 2. And it's going to have gold foil on it, which is gonna be very fun. So there's gonna be lots of gold on the font and on the tarot cards and on the stars and on the stuff, all the stuff. A week isn't even that long, right? That's what I said. I'm like, literally, if your teacher doesn't get back to you for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, that's fine. Like, that email then. That's a cause for alarm. It has been, when they emailed me, it had been barely 7 days. And I'm like, I need you to chill, please. I work 3 fucking jobs. Like, pretty please, I want to collapse. Hi, Goose. How you doing? Guys, you don't need that bad. Well, and it like grades that bad, especially because this student is doing very well in the class. And it's only week 2's grades. I'm like, guys, literally, I need you to calm the fuck down. Like, I'm glad that maybe all the other teachers that you have are, like, retired and stuff, and they have the time to be able to do this, like, 24/7. But I'm not even getting paid that good of a wage to do this, and, like, there's a reason why I have to have multiple jobs. Like, I can't. Everybody hydrate. I'm drinking a black tea today. I think Jace got me the April in Paris today. I think that's what this is, but to be honest, I don't know. It's a black tea and it's got some floral notes to it, but I can't tell what it is. But yeah, if you want to read a book about systemic oppression and 2 teenagers fighting systemic oppression, this is the fucking book for you. This is one of the main characters. I'm going to be doing a crowdfunding campaign, I think, with these guys called the Book Bazaar. And they seem like very nice people. The guy who's organizing it and running it is just like the coolest dude ever. He's very, very nice. And so we're going to try BackerKit next time. I'm very excited to be able to hopefully get this going. I don't know how good it's going to work, but I've waited months before, right? I'm like, bro, well, and then this student too, like, there's some assignments in this class that are they go ungraded because they are like, or I should say they're worth 0%, right? Because that's just the way that the class worked out, I guess. I don't make the courses, so I don't know why that is the way that it is. And this is also the student who was, like, emailing me being like, why is this worth 0%? And I'm like, that's a question between you and God. I don't fucking know. And then they were like, okay, well, I'm just not going to do it then. And I'm like, yeah, you have free will, man. I don't, like, you don't have to, like, tell me that you're not doing it. Like, you have free will. I don't know. I can tell. Can y'all tell I'm burnt out as fuck? I'm trying really hard to not feel guilty about just taking some time today and like drawing my characters and just relaxing and trying to chill, because I've literally been going non-stop for like 2.5 months. Like effectively since I got back from my honeymoon, it's just been like on and on and on. And I haven't really had like a vacation or a break. Yeah, God, honestly. I'm telling you, the crater is calling me. This whole week has just been so weird. And I'm nervous, guys. I'm nervous. Alright, I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound absolutely apeshit. Okay, are you ready for this? This is the most apeshit thing ever. Alright, so I don't really do like self-insert OCs or things like that. But for all of the characters that I have, the character that I think matches my existence the closest is Nathan. And I don't have any books for him yet. I will, and I'm working on a book for him right now. It's very difficult for me to write because it's very, very sad. And it's been really hard to work on that. But the point is what's crazy about this is that I know this dude's life very, very, very well. Sometimes down to the exact like days, months, and dates of things happening to him. And can y'all explain why that in Nathan's life when he was 31 years old and it was the end of the year for him in 2017, this would be 2017, he was recontacted by a childhood friend, and then that ended up very dramatically changing the course of his life. Okay, so that's something that I know from like a writer standpoint happened. Can y'all explain to me why this weekend, the exact month, and I'm the exact same age as him, my fucking childhood friend who I haven't talked to since I was 9, that we had like a fucking like weird falling out with each other for a variety of different reasons, his girlfriend contacted me through Facebook Messenger being like, yeah, he wants to reconnect. Like, the shit is crazy. And this is not the first fucking time that this has happened, where I've effectively predicted the future with this stupid fucking OC's life. And now I'm super scared because I'm like, okay, that's either going to result in me having a breakdown in the next couple of months or something's going to fucking happen. And I have the fear, all right? I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. Or other weird shit that'll happen is like I'll come up with like theories for how certain shit works, like for context. He is hyper obsessed with curing his own anxiety and particularly like his nervous system issues that he has. And when I was doing research on shit, I myself am not a pharmaceutical chemist. I don't make drugs. I don't have a chemistry degree. I didn't do any of that shit. But when I was doing research, I settled on creating some kind of drug that is effectively an acetylcholine agonist or something. Acetylcholine is a nutrient that your brain needs, or choline, I should say, is a nutrient that your brain needs to properly function in certain areas of your brain. And from all the research that I was doing, a lot of like drugs for anxiety target serotonin, dopamine, like SSRIs, right? Those kinds of things. But I was like, that seems like it's not working for people who just mostly have nervous system issues. What is the drug that's going to do that? And I settled on acetylcholine. And I was like, okay, I need to build Nathan's research around that. This fucking month, there was a massive meta study done that proved across 25 different studies that choline is a massive factor in trying to, or like it's a nutrient deficiency in people who have anxiety or depression. Again, I am not a fucking chemist, but I was right. And so I'm like, am I looking into a fucking alternate universe or some shit? I feel like I'm crashing out. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm literally losing my mind. Am I crazy? Probably. That fear is real. Chips, I'm scared, okay? I'm so scared. Hi, Badrick. How you doing? Oh, I'm fucking crashing out, man. I'm crashing out. I'm okay. I'm burnt out. I'm crashing out. I don't fucking know. It just makes me kind of sad though, like, and I'm trying to not like think about it too hard because for Nathan, things didn't really get better in his life until he was like solidly 34, I think, you know, so that would have been for him like 29, well, I mean maybe 33, like 2019 for him. So I have to like if this weird fucking theory is right and I have to like line my fucking life up like that, then the shit is not gonna improve for me for a little while. Which is, that's the bummer. That's the womp womp of all of this. But then it also means that I might take like a massive left turn in my career. He ends up going from being a chemist to like a chef. He was like, fuck that shit. Yep. So that's my massive fucking, what the hell. So now I have to figure out, like, this girl is like, you want to go get drinks? And I'm like, okay, so if I am fucking looking into a different dimension, this could go one of two ways. Either I'm gonna meet up with this guy and it's gonna be fucking great and everything's gonna be fine, and all of this is bullshit. Two, I go and I meet up with this guy and it causes some wild shit to happen. And so now I'm like, do I go and get drinks with this guy? I'm scared. Like, I'm so scared. Okay, time to get some line work done on this thing. Okay. Wee. If y'all want more context as to why that guy and I didn't talk for a really long time, I can give that too, because that's not necessarily super personal information, but I just was not fucking expecting it. I wasn't ready. And then that also comes this month too. I like one of the kids I went to high school with, and I like, for context on that, I went to a very small high school, like really, really small. Just got arrested in my state for one of the biggest, like, I don't even want to say it. It's something where you have images with kids. That's all I'm gonna say. Biggest case in my state ever. And it was somebody that I knew personally and I spent a lot of time with in high school, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I'm fucking crashing out. I'm curious. Okay, so this guy, we were very close friends. We met when we were like 3, okay? We were 3. And when my parents moved into our childhood house, we effectively would play in each other's yards and stuff because we were around the same age. And then it got to the point where my dad actually, when he built our fence for the house, he made sure to build a gate in between our 2 houses so that way we could play together. And like I could just effectively call his house from our landline. That's how old I am. And then we would go over and I would just go through the gate and go to his house to play and jump on the trampoline or whatever it was, go over for dinner. We played a lot of Smash and a lot of Mario Party. That was kind of the vibe. But his dad worked for Focus on the Family, which if you're not American or if you're not from the state of Colorado, Focus on the Family is a hyper-religious, neo-evangelical Christian organization. They are responsible for providing a lot of the content guidelines for a lot of Christians across the nation who are very, very, very hateful. And his dad, what's interesting about all of this is that Nathan's dad was a very, and like this guy's name is Nathan, by the way, so that makes this even worse. Okay, so that's the next step here. I'm crashing out. But his dad was a really nice fucking guy. So I don't think that he joined that organization because he himself was particularly hateful. I think that that was just, he was like a very religious guy, and it was part of his calling for Christ was to try and help people effectively protect their families. That resulted in a lot of really weird stuff that I think now is funny as an adult. Like, I've talked about the goddamn ClearPlay fucking DVD player on here before, where it's the DVD player that will it'll cut out and censor all of the shit that's like, quote, not Christian in movies. So that way you can watch movies that are popular, like The Lord of the Rings, for example, but you can tell it to, like, censor any kind of, like, blood, gore, violence, magic, any of those kinds of things. So he was, like, the guy that gave that to my dad because he was like, this will be easier for you to help your kids, like, censor, you know, the material that you show them and all that other shit. So I think genuinely he was, like, a caring guy. Shit was just really, really weird. But when we got to high school, or not really high school, I would say it was more middle school, and even late elementary school, actually. As we got older, I should say, he went to this school called the Classical Academy, and this was a religious Christian private school. And already we had some silly incidents where, you know, I would be playing the Harry Potter computer game, the Philosopher's Stone computer game with PS1 Hagrid in it. And he'd say things like, I don't know if I should really be playing this because my mom doesn't let me read Harry Potter. And I was like, you know what, okay, cool. I was like a very respectful kid, so it didn't fucking bother me. We picked something else. We figured something else out. I just really liked that game because it had a lot of, like, really cool mechanics. It was genuinely pretty damn hard. But then as he started to go to the Classical Academy, all of a sudden all of his friends mostly were asking very weird questions about, like, why is your best friend a girl? Because at the time that I had not transitioned. And he was like, that's a really good question. I don't know. Is that a weird thing for boys to have best friends who are girls? And they were like, yeah, that's weird. And then legitimately he just stopped talking to me. And it felt very abrupt. It was like this very bizarre, very quick transition of, like, yeah, we just don't really talk or hang out anymore. And my sister was still friends with his younger sister, and so she'd come over and I'd be like, where's your brother? And she'd be like, well, he just doesn't want to come over. And eventually I think my mom started to notice that it was making me really sad, and so then she called his mom and was like, what's going on? And his mom kind of explained the situation and was like, yeah, he's feeling very awkward about it. Not that your kid is making him feel awkward, but he's just going through a weird time. You know, he doesn't know what's right, and he's feeling very peer pressured by all of it. And her mentality was to just kind of let this kid work through it on his own, you know, figure it out on his own, see if he could, like, you know, kind of get to a point where, you know, he would realize what he wanted to do in the situation, which I do think is a valid thing. You know, like, that's fine. You don't have to tell a kid, like, you have to be friends with this person if you don't want to. Like, that's totally fine. But point being, I never fucking saw him again. Then I went to a hyper-conservative Christian middle school where focus on the family made a very prevalent stance inside that institution, and they sent out newsletters every month effectively warning parents at the school of what they should or should not let their kids do. And that resulted in me getting very bullied, and in some cases I was not ever physically hit, but I had my property destroyed. I had students physically attacking me. I had teachers emotionally attacking me, adults, fully grown-ass adults bullying a child in that situation. So then, at that point, in my mind, I was like, man, I don't really want to be associated with these people. Not really. So, like, I kind of kept tabs on him. My mom kept tabs on the guy's Facebook. And then the guy got married. And then I was like, yeah, no, I'm never going to fucking see this guy again. I transitioned. I'm like, probably he's not very cool with gay people. And then this shit happens. And so now, I'm like, what's going on? Like, and what I don't want to have happen is what happened to my character, Nathan, which is when, like, he showed up to talk to his friend about everything that was going on. And his friend found out, like, granted, this character is making, like, Walter White making drugs in his fucking apartment, right? So his childhood friend, finds out that he's doing something that fundamentally he cannot agree with. And he's like, dude, you can't Walter White in your apartment. Don't do that. But my character's so convinced. He's like, no, if I can figure out how to make this right, I can save so many people. But his friend thinks he's crazy. He has an absolute crash out, blows up in his face, and then that sends this character into effectively the death spiral that projects him into a better part of his life, granted. But now I'm like, I don't know if I want to be in the death spiral. I don't want that. No. In the words of Bitsy, well, no. Like, do you know how the DVD player worked? Yes. So effectively, it was in the era of the internet. You'd put the disc in, and you would buy thumb drives of a lot of the most popular films. So say you wanted to do Lord of the Rings, you'd have like a USB stick with their version of the Lord of the Rings on it, or data for like a bunch of different popular movies. And effectively, the way that it worked is it would time skip. So the code on the USB drive knew that, like, say between a minute 30 and 4 minutes in the Lord of the Rings, there was like magic or some shit that you wanted to skip. It would then play code that would automatically skip from that one point to the other. Now they have a much more sophisticated system where the thing connects to the internet and you can download those individual files for a much larger database of movies, and you have a little bit of a quality control on it. So say you are okay with magic, but you're not okay with like graphic gore or sex, then you can turn those things, toggle those things on and off. Yeah, it's okay in theory, but like, when I say that these people who were using these devices were the most brainwashed fucking people I've ever been around in my whole life, it was really bad. And it resulted in kids not being able to experience pop culture stuff that was, like, in reality actually just, like, fine. It wasn't a threat to their religion or anything like that. It was a whole time. I'm sure the guy that made it was well-meaning, but in reality, it was bad. But for parental controls, it's definitely, it at least functions effectively. We can say for sure it does what it needs to do. But yeah, I don't know. I went and I peeped the girlfriend's profile picture or profile info because I was like, if she's like hyper religious, like I'm probably gonna say no, you know, because I need to be very cautious about that shit. I don't want to end up walking into a situation where myself, my trans non-binary husband are in a place where suddenly we're effectively being verbally attacked by people, because that's traumatizing for both of us, and I don't need to do that to either of us. But I saw on this girl's profile that, one, she went to art school. Okay, two, this is not the original wife that this guy was married to, so I think he got a divorce. And three, this girl has, like, protect trans people posts on her Facebook. So I'm like, are you good? Like, the whole thing has shooketh me. I'm crashing out. That's it. That's all I gotta say about it. That is all. You know what he needs? He needs some kind of layer here. And that's okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. It's just difficult for me to gauge my, the actual situation, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry you're not feeling super well. I hope you feel better soon. I'm tired as fuck, too. Why is this not... No, it's fine. That's weird. That's suspicious. That's weird. We're alright. Yeah, you're like, I'm actually relatively fine. That's good. Honestly. That's all we can ask for sometimes. Okay. I need to frame this appropriately. I want kind of like a, I might need to do a better, color palette here. Or pick a better color. Let's see. Yeah, this is what I want. Like, this is good. So we're gonna do this. And then I'm gonna hand paint this by hand. This gradient. There we go, now we're centered. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this. Oops. I'm gonna just kind of go like this. But we can have kind of a dusty color. And I need to make the background, I think, like brown. What mice in the carpet? The one that I watched recently was the guy being like, "Oh, fellow rat," and Bitsy's like, "No, I'm a mouse. No." But if I had to pick one clip that I consistently am, it's there's a bunch of pedophiles with a bunch of schmenises everywhere. Alternatively, this is the most fun Torbeck has ever had, ever. This is honestly crazy that all of this is happening right now. Yeah, I want to light myself on. Cal, I want to light myself on fire. I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. I'm so confusion. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to fucking live. I'm trying to juggle like 18 jobs and a fucking dream. And that's not working. during all of this. But this is what made Nathan crash out. This is what made the character crash out, is that he was working for this hyper-corrupt science. Effectively, it's like a superhero fucking secret society that they were very evil. They were not good. And so the way that the superpowers work in this universe is that you have to effectively physically and emotionally break somebody in order to turn their powers on. So all of these people have this genetic marker for this superpower gene. But these genes, these superpowers in this particular instance at this time were rooted in myth, folklore, legend, those kinds of things. And so, like, for example, if you could, like, breathe fire, or if you could, like, set yourself on fire, it may not be that you're just a superhero that could light yourself on fire. Your myth gene might be that of, like, a dragon, right, or something, right? So that's, like, a pretty simple example, but it can get more and more complicated than that as you effectively lose yourself to your power. And so, like, sure, you could shoot lightning yesterday, but one day you wake up and you're not you anymore, and you don't have any memory of ever being you because you're Zeus. And it's actually just Zeus. It's not like you think you're Zeus, it's just Zeus, right? So you can completely lose yourself. And so people who are like the dragon, for example, would metamorphose slowly, physically into a dragon until they're no longer human. They're not themselves anymore. And so Nathan is constantly, he's working for this organization and does not realize that that is what these people are doing. And his job as a researcher is to effectively perform these stress tests on people to see how much they can take before they break. And then they throw him into the physical line of fire to see how much longer it takes for him to himself snap. This sounds really cool. What is this from? Well, it's from a book that I'm working on. One of my characters, it's not out yet. I don't even know. I have the working title is Everything That Isn't Me. But it's based off of a City of Mist campaign that I did professionally for a while with a couple of other players before that thing exploded, or imploded rather, before the pandemic. It was I'm going to call it an HR disaster that happened there. There was a coworker who was very creepy and did some pretty fucking disgusting shit. And so, unfortunately, our group did not really recover after that point because everybody kind of went different directions, and we were not really able to get back from that. But I played Nathan in that particular campaign. So it's loosely inspired on the mechanics of City of Mist. But I'm taking kind of my own liberties with how the actual magic system works, because there's not a lot of there's some backbone to how that magic system works, but I really wanted to like sci-fi it. I wanted to make it more of a superhero genre and less of like a urban fantasy genre, which is where City of Mist kind of sits. So eventually a Nathan book will happen. Yeah, Nathan is unique, and this is kind of like, he ends up getting put on a field team with a bunch of other people who have a wide variety of skill sets, but Nathan is unique in the sense that his myth gene is tied to Dr. Jekyll from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and so he is one of the only ones in the area who is effectively self-aware that he has these genes. And it's mostly Henry, because normally you can't talk to the thing that is inside you, you know, the thing that is, like, effectively trying to take control over your body in that way. But Henry is unique in the sense that they can do that. And that ultimately was kind of fucking clutch for taking down this organization, because Cain, it was the main villain of that particular campaign, the grand architect behind everything, from Cain and Abel, from, like, the Bible. And his goal was to effectively raise, like, the entire city and restructure it for, like, power for himself. And he was trying to use Henry as a tool, and that did not fucking work out very well for him. Predominantly because I don't think that they were prepared for, like, Ed to be such an agent of chaos. So there was a lot going on. It was a very intense experience. I don't think I would have transitioned if it hadn't been for that campaign. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I got to participate. And Nathan is, he's very near and dear to my heart. Hi, Tess. How you doing today? That book will come eventually, but yeah, it's really difficult for me to write. It's like watching a very close friend go through some pretty severe mental health issues, and there's nothing that I can like really do to help, you know. And a lot of it is stuff that I've gone through as well, because that was kind of my whole goal with playing the character originally, was like having a character that was suffering from very severe physical anxiety, panic disorders, and depression, and then that ended up resulting in I don't know, a lot of interesting stuff. Yeah, no, legitimately. I mean, there's a reason why I have his tattoos on my body. Like, no joke. Yeah, because I like, and it's crazy because people, they think artists are crazy. I recognize that that's just like a whole thing, but like for me, legitimately, if I don't think without Nathan that I would be alive. Like that's it's very bizarre. So for these kinds of psychic events to line up in that way in my own life is fucking crazy. It is literal batshit bananas. Like I don't know. It's probably the closest and strangest thing that I've personally ever had to a religious experience. It is very weird. And I'm still myself not really sure how to feel about it. Ooh, finishing up some work on the crowdfunding campaign. That's exciting. Did you decide if you were going to go with those backer kit folks? Because I actually been talking to that guy, William, with the backer kit guys, and he's fucking awesome. The whole system seems really really nice, and most importantly, they are they don't charge you fees or anything to join their group. It's completely just free because they're like, yeah, we like authors need fucking help like real bad. And if we don't work together, then we're just kind of like screwed. So I would recommend if you can get into contact with that guy and get on board with them, I really would. I'm gonna try for next June. I'm gonna do that for my own Kickstarter just to see how it works. But I think we can do it. Yeah, I really appreciate it. He answered all of my questions very thoroughly. Bye, Badrick. I hope you feel better. Feel better soon. Oh, yay. Okay, sweet. Okay, so this is fucking awesome. Yeah, we'll really be able to get to see this bad boy in action effectively. I'm curious. I'm curious. Also, we got a self-care combo. Everybody stretch. Everybody drink liquids. Everybody sit up straight. Oh, Taryn. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm feeling very weird. Y'all can see why all of this together, like as soon as yeah, y'all have all the information, all of this together is very strange. Very strange. I want to finish Nathan's book really bad, but it's like I'm about a third of the way through it, I think. It's just it's painful. Watching a guy crash out in slow motion is like not easy. Oh yeah, sure. I would love to, Tess. I would love to. I haven't gotten all the deets from this guy on when our crowdfunding campaign is supposed to start. Because I mostly was just asking a bunch of questions and picking his brain. But why? The trees, they cry. They cry and I die. And that is my new slogan. Why? Okay. Why? Sneezing is literally the worst. It makes me so upset. I don't know if anybody else has that issue where you are like sneezing and then you're just enraged. Yeah, totally. I'm sure that we'll get more information about that as we all approach it, because I did see that they do streams like every day on their Twitch interviewing authors, doing like Q&As, like all of those things, which I thought was super fucking cool. Yeah, all in all, he seems like his organization at the very minimum is peak. Super organized, dude. What book are you talking about? It's a book I'm working on called Everything That Isn't Me. That's a psychological superhero thriller. I don't have a like ETA for that thing yet, but it's been interesting. Definitely the next one I'm going for is I'm getting to the point where I'm not getting any responses back for queries. I haven't sent the queries out to those 2 agents that you recommended yet, Tess, so I'm going to do those people next when I get some time, either this week or next week, and see if I can just, like, get them to do what I need to do. But, like, it's, like, so dry out there that I'm, like, at this point, I'm legitimately very seriously just considering prepping Fatal Mechanisms for a crowdfunding campaign and to be just published through Liminal House instead, because it's to the point. No, the book I'm querying is a hard science fiction called Fatal Mechanisms. It's about 2 main characters. You have the first character is named Drema, and it's from her POV the first half of the book, and she's an alien who was abducted off of her own home planet, and her people are all pacifists. And unfortunately, she's abducted by a fascist science, like, paramilitary organization to be experimented on a massive industrial labor prison ship called the Finn. And the guy who is her main, like the head scientist and also the warden of that ship, so to speak, Sakita, is very smart. He's a super intelligent dude, but he also is a part of a race of aliens who effectively have altered their bodies so severely with cybernetics that they no longer feel empathy. They are just like, it's very difficult for them to understand that. So that results in a lot of like really bad torture that happens to this poor lady. But via the help of a bunch of different friends who are in prison for a variety of reasons, they end up escaping off of the Finn and joining a rebel unit called Animus that is working with an AI to try and fight this system. And then halfway through the book, it switches. As soon as they end up getting effectively picked up by Animus, the POV switches to Sakita. After he effectively has been disassembled, his AI and all of his computer systems have been completely trashed on a like a trash planet. That's really the best way I can describe it. And now all of a sudden he's effectively feeling for the first time since he was a child and trying to process all of the damage and the trauma that he caused other people while fighting to do the right thing and to take down this fucking fascist, organization, even though he was, so dedicated to it at one point. So, yeah, it's a fun time. I do love myself, my stupid, very, like, intensely dumb, alien man. He's just, oh my god, he's so dumb. Drema's great, though. She's a sweetie. There's a really fun cast of characters. Lots of really, I really enjoy a lot of the alien races in this as well. It's like, it's really great, but... I just don't know if these folks don't want to like tackle something that is like such a direct critique of our current government right now. Because that was not my intent. I started writing this shit in like 2018. This thing has been in the works for a really long time. And it's just, yeah, nobody is picking it up. Oh my god, yeah, no, Sakita would be so offended. Oh my god. No, the nastiest insult in this book that gets thrown his way because his people are so hyper obsessed with intelligence and with like they legitimately believe that because other species do not have the like cranial augmentation that they have, that they are legitimately disabled. Like they look at Terrans, at humans, and they go, yeah, you guys are dumb as fuck. Like we want nothing to do with you because you're genuinely stupid. So at some point, because Sakita has none of his systems functioning and they're all they don't work like they did when, you know, he was all put together. Another one of his race looks at him and they're like, I don't give information to Cro-Magnon lobotomites. And Sakita literally kicks them. Like he's like, I will fucking end you. And I'm like, god damn. No, I think Sakita would be so upset. He like, cause for his species, like I definitely, I think that if he were to really sit down and think about gender and sexuality, he would probably identify as asexual, panromantic, or alloromantic maybe. It doesn't really matter as long as it's like, you know, an intelligent being. You know, I don't think it would really matter the gender of the person. But then also non-binary or agender, I think, is also how he would identify as well. But he works on a ship where for a lot of his people under his employ, the like gender is like so important, especially to humans, that he's like, okay, fine, like you can pick fucking pronouns for me, I don't give a shit, this is like my sex at birth, like I don't care. And so it doesn't bother him too bad. But like anything that has to do with sex, I don't want to say he's sex repulsed, but he's like, I hate this. I think he would look at those books and he'd be like he'd mostly be upset. I think he'd just be enraged. He'd be like, why? This makes zero fucking sense. He's also very like, and like I definitely don't want to like have a villain or an antagonist who is like neurodivergent coded, but he's like, and he does make a massive turnaround in this book, but he is very neurodivergent coded, where it's like things have got to be spelled out for him very literally, unless, you know, like otherwise he doesn't fucking understand them. He doesn't understand cultural nuance. He doesn't really get like overall like sarcasm or things like that. That's just not his. He likes things to be literal, clean, and easy to understand. Because otherwise he's like, why are you fucking talking to me? Like I legitimately, you're saying these things to me right now, and I do not care. Drama effectively has to hold his hand and be like, okay, it's like raising a child. It's like, how do you teach this guy effectively how to function like an actual like person? Because it's not that necessarily that they're unempathetic, it's that they legitimately, it's difficult for them to process that they could be causing trauma to other people. Because in their mind, it's like, oh, well, you know, I'm performing these very traumatic surgeries on these creatures, for example, to make them not harmful or not dangerous anymore. But we give them a neurological sedative, so that way they don't, like, feel anything during the surgery, but we don't put them under. So they shouldn't be traumatized because they're not in pain. And this girl has to be like, bro, like, that's still causing trauma, you dumbass. Like, just because I didn't feel it doesn't mean it didn't hurt me, you know. And that's a really difficult thing, I think, for him to understand. But it also touches on like the blind following of like AI, and like this whole thing really starts because an AI effectively is given like loose freedom to create as she sees fit, and she gives so many species you know, amazing intelligence, and without her, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have a lot of species wouldn't have what they do, but then also too she kind of just like creates and joyously creates and then recklessly abandons her creations, which is really what led to this entire thing. So it's also a like low-key cautionary tale about the reckless unchecked nature of AI and how that can potentially come to bite us in the ass. And how that affects other people, and then also the nature of like sentience and sapience, because Sakita has a difficult time grasping that as well. So all in all, it was definitely a massive think piece by me about like why we get to the places that we do with fascist regimes. And how effectively, if you stop treating all things as living, loving things, then you get fucked. But it's it is not going anywhere, and I don't know. It's probably because there's also no love interest as well. There was kind of like a slow burn, like a little bit of a mild romance in Sakita's part because he starts to develop feelings for a Terran woman, which he's very upset about, and figures his shit out. But they don't really get together because he lies to her like the entire section. He's like disguising himself as a Terran, and she feels very fucking betrayed by that shit at the end of it all. And so they don't end up together because consequences for actions or something. So I don't know if that is like a no-go. But it's also, I trimmed it down from 140k words to 98k too, because I don't want to jump them as a debut with like effectively the most chungus book of all time. So yeah, it's a hard sell. You're absolutely right though. It is rough out there for sci-fi, which is funny because I feel like a lot of people want to read it. So kind of wild, but I really like this story a lot, and I think that there's a lot to think about, especially as AI continues to explode. When I started to write that, like ChatGPT obviously didn't even exist. Yeah, and it is what I would call hard sci-fi, but I also it's like a hard sci-fi thriller is where I would put it, and so I wanted it to be longer than a standard thriller, but not so long that if it's my debut and I'm seriously querying it that it doesn't jump scare people, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I settled on like it's like 99k or something. It's like that it'll work. It's fast enough to like effectively rocket you through this story where you get just enough detail without it being like, oh my god, you know, there's so much shit, so much world building that I have to learn, you know, because effectively Dremma's the perfect vessel for it because she's never been off of her little tiny, you know, tropical swamp planet, and she's getting bombarded with all of this information about new races, new people, new places, like just as much as the reader is getting bombarded with it. So but yeah, it's been really slow, and I've been watching another sci-fi author who wrote something very not like very similar, but it is also about AI. Um, I'm watching him also struggle over in the UK market, and like he's not getting anybody to pick up his shit either. He even like he got a full request, and then they were like, I just don't know who I can market it to, and it's like, god damn it, you know, it's like it's really frustrating. I love the form shadow part of painting. This is like my favorite part. Hi, Gamby. How are you today? Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I'm trying to tell myself that I don't need to do this, but I think I'm going to offer all of these prints with the Kickstarter that I do, or the crowdfunding campaign, the backer kit that I do in June. I have a little bit more time to work on this now. I have to reshuffle my publishing schedule a little bit. Welcome back from AdTown. Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. I feel like I've really shot myself in the foot with all of the stuff that I've chosen to write, because a lot of it is just really difficult to market to agents, to sell to agents. But we're going to see how it goes. I have been getting really good traction, though, with Liminal House, and I've had several people who are very interested in, like, you know, it's like, as soon as my manuscript's done, I want to publish with you. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. So I might have more luck as a publisher than I will as a published person. But what I'm hoping, and like also I've been talking to the William guy over with the Backer Kit collab thing about this as well, is that what I'm hoping is that these will go well enough for me that I can also apply that to the other authors as well, which will be really, really cool. So I can have them have successful funding for their work to cover just printing costs. And I like William's strategy. We were talking about that shit too. I was like, I'm a publisher. These are my thoughts on this. And he gets it. I feel like I instantly resonated with him on a lot of shit. So I'm so stoked. So stoked. I appreciate that connection a lot, Tess. It was a very good one. Let's see, form shadows. But yeah, it's like I'm writing in markets that definitely exist, but they're not necessarily the like largest markets on the whole planet. So I have to just kind of maybe pivot. Hello? I'm going to be doing Court of Snakes, the omnibus. So that'll be, technically it's, oh great. Please tell me that this will just still function. Are we good? Yeah, we're all right. It's a YA political dystopian fantasy, or political dystopian fantasy. Yeah. Okay, I don't need this anymore. Goodbye. I love how you met this man on a cruise. Clearly this was the sign. Actually, okay, I'm gonna do some do a little bit of cast shadow now. So there's a couple of spaces where that happens, where there's cast shadow on stuff. Yeah, I want to have a big old omnibus for this thing. And it'll also be for the release of the second paperback as well, so people can just buy one or two of them. And then that'll be kind of how that goes. Or they can buy this. I need to see where they're going this year, but it's tempting. I see. It's a good networking event, but also pricey. Yeah, cruises in general are fun, but it's like, I feel like you're right, though. The costs add up for that kind of stuff really quickly. All of a sudden, you're like, this was expensive. I understand. I get it. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm very excited for this omnibus, but because the books are slightly more pricey than what I am used to, I don't think I could crowdfund it on my own. It results in the Kickstarter needing to be like about $1,800, give or take, I think. And I need to test it and run it through other Kickstarter calculators to make sure I'm not like crazy. But it's just slightly above the normal threshold of what I do. And so having a 20, like William was saying, like in some cases a 20% cross back from other people it's the norm. Oh yeah, true though, because they're trying to sell those last minute tickets like hard. They're like, get on the boat! And they're just yelling. I like painting, guys. Oh my god, for $800 in Japan. Sweet baby Jesus. It's beautiful. That's the most beautiful thing I ever heard. These two books are free right now, by the way, if anybody wants to read them. They're currently up on Wattpad. I'm going to be pulling them very soon as the Kickstarter starts. Or I might pull them, like, the chapters here pretty soon. But at least the first 3 chapters of each book will be available on Wattpad for forever. So that way people can read the samples before they buy, because we don't need another winter situation. So if you do want to read this thing, this book is in desperate need of reviews and help on Amazon. It's just one that I didn't promote very well when it came out, and then it also did not have the strongest cover when I first released it, so it didn't do as well as I would have liked. And this is also one of my books that I had to re-release because the original I published before I transitioned, and then it was just like not great. It was okay. The first book is definitely weaker than the second, as all things are. But the second one is banging. It's so fucking good. I promise you will not be disappointed. God damn, I love painting skins so fucking much. It's also a good book to read if you're fucking frustrated with everything that's going on in the United States right now. It's also got Ace Arrow representation too. Taran does not have a love interest the entire time because he's too busy getting shot at. But there is also a very sweet romance as well. I'm considering next year getting a month or so off since I got 5 weeks of vacation and just taking a cruise. Oh yeah, truly. Get the fuck out of here. It's like, if you can afford to take it, just fucking leave. Leave this place. Be free. That's all I have to say. People deserve to take breaks. Yo, I don't want to deal with my students today. And I have to meet up with a student, like, I can't even tell you guys. I don't know what to do because I just, like, can't find a job that's, like, fulfilling. And I'm trying to figure out how to cope with that because, like, when I say that I've had 3 students this semester who have not installed, they're taking a digital painting class and they didn't install Photoshop for 3 weeks. And so now I don't think that there is a chance that they will pass the class because they did not install the program. And then they are like, I don't understand the program. I don't know what to do. And then I have to reach out to them to be like, hey, are you guys dying or like what's going on? And then they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And it's like, I'm fucking God. You know, it's like the directions like are step by step in the LMS to go and get you the files that you need and shit. Like, please. Also, everybody stretch. Everybody, I was kind of shrimping. I was rage shrimping. So now I have to set up meetings with certain students to do that. Or like I have students who are downloading like Adobe Express, which is not the same thing as Photoshop to do the work, despite the fact that there's like, again, a step-by-step set of directions on how to set up Photoshop and how to do that. Also, everybody sit up straight. Don't shrimp. Drink some fluids. Yeah, nobody reads the syllabus. Well, you want to know what's worse, Goose? Is that it's not even just the syllabus. They have like in the REMCAD like LMS, they have like presentations is what they're called. So they're like little how-to tutorials and things like that on how to like get things set up, etc. And there are presentations also. So it's not only you could completely ignore the fucking syllabus and you could still get the directions on like how to install the software, do what you need to do, but that's only if you fucking read the welcome to week 1, this is like the course setup information. And I don't think people do that. I think that they just fucking go rogue. Yeah, I'm crashing out. So I don't know. Like, I was like fine with this job and I was so grateful to have this job like a year ago. And now that I've been in it for like a year, I'm like, actually, this is really bad and these students don't fucking do anything. And it's only getting worse. Like, I feel like it's gotten worse. And so I'm like getting really burnt out. Like, really burnt out. But I want the paycheck, so I feel like I can't quit. So, I don't know. I just want to write books and help other people publish books. Like, that's all that I want. I like how Rolo was very sad, but at least he was sad with the spirit of Christmas. He's crashing out, but yay Christmas. No, it's all right. It's all right. I'm mostly just fucking venting, you know. It's like it just sucks because it's like I'm excited to be able to like do certain things. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be a teacher. And like when you say like, hey, I'm an animation teacher, people get so fucking hyped. They're like, oh my god, that sounds like the fucking dream job. And it's like, if only you knew the horrors I've seen. If only you have looked into the eyes of death itself like I have. Because let me tell you, So now I gotta fucking try and save these students, but I don't think that they, like, it gets to the point where if you fuck up so bad at this point, it's like you would have to get 100s on every single thing in order to pass the class. Like, it becomes like impossible for you to actually, yeah, to actually pass. And so there's nothing I can do at that point. You know, it's like, okay, I did what I could. Let me do another layer here. Go a little smaller. Give him just some freckles on his cheeks, that's all. Actually, oops. So I don't know. I'm crashing out. Clearly shit is happening to me over here. Y'all can see it. Y'all are watching it real time. It's fine. Yeah, I just wanna write books and fucking have a nice time, you know, like, that's all. I'm like, please. Okay. Oh my god, I know. It's ridiculous. Particularly international shipping is so fucking bad. Tess, that's it. That legitimately will end me. What am I doing with my life? Let's see. I need... Oh, I know, it's crazy. Because I missed like 3 days, tonight I get to sit down and effectively just write. Because of the convention, I ended up missing a lot. So I just gotta fucking scream. Okay, I see. I'll grab that. I don't like how overall the color palettes on this hair palette is like... Tess, are you shipping via media mail? That's my number one question. Media mail. Because if you ship media mail, if it has a book in it, it becomes like $5. Yeah, like media mail. I was told this by a wise man. Hello, Photoshop? So what, are you just like deciding that, oh, why are you on pin light? What happened to you here? Weirdo. Yeah, it depends on how heavy your book is. I think maybe like the special editions, because they're hardcover, might end up being more like 8. No, you can ship media mail even if it has bookmarks. Doesn't matter. As in the US, as long as it has a book in the package, a book, a DVD, a pamphlet, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If it's like book and tea, book and prints, book and, it doesn't matter. I've literally been shipping that way my whole career, and not once the USPS has opened my packages to be like, this is a bookmark in there. But yeah, please, media mail. Yeah, because people ship promotional material, for example, like DVDs and stuff, with all of the other pomp and circumstance, like brochures and prints and paper in them. Like, I think they're mostly just like, if you're shipping a book and food, for example, or like a book and a doll, or you know what I mean? Like, stuff, like, I don't know, even then, I'd still ship media mail. Because as long as it's media, it's in the mail. I didn't get this. Yeah, that'll save you so much money. It doesn't really help with international shipping because there is no like international media mail, unfortunately, but nah, you're good. They're not going to open up your packages. They don't even care. Yeah, like, and Google says no, you cannot ship non-qualifying items in a media mail package along with the book. It must only contain qualifying media such as books, CDs, DVDs, or printed music. But you can include exceptions like invoice, bills, briefs, handwritten notes. But legitimately, I've shipped entire packages but like it like legit, I have not once seen a USPS person go through the package. So I would say like that's kind of a calculated risk thing. I've done like 8 Kickstarters that way, and not once, not once have I had that happen to me. So up to you, but I know it saved my ass. And also, too, I don't know how BackerKit does it, but remember that you can always charge your backers shipping. But I haven't done any of the back-end setup on BackerKit before, so I'm not super familiar with their like whole caboodle. The kabongle, you know what I'm saying? It's me, a kabongle. Y'all, I'm done. I want things to be quiet. You know, I would just like for just a little bit of quiet. Oh, I think it's almost identical to Kickstarter. Well, that's good. And actually, I can probably attest to the sense that it's actually probably better than Kickstarter, because really, like, what happened is that Kickstarter was doing its shit, and then BackerKit started to do their like BackerKit surveys, and then everybody was like, "Why the fuck am I shipping things via Kickstarter when BackerKit is so much better?" And then Kickstarter tried to implement their own pledge manager, which has been kind of a low key disaster, by the way. I wouldn't recommend using it, and then just go with the BackerKit pledge manager instead. And then I think BackerKit at some point was like, what if we just did Kickstarter but better? So I would be willing to bet that like there's actually a lot more about it that's better. But I don't know, man. I'm just a guy. You find this is not dark enough. Going rogue. And they're all right. Kickstarter is, at this point, it was the standard, and now it's what I would consider just all right. It's not good. It's not bad. Indiegogo is worse. There we go. Better. That's what I thought. Okay. God, I have so much anxiety. This is the one, like, downside of, like, running all of your own businesses and stuff like this, is that, like, you are constantly thinking about a million different things all at the same time. Which is really difficult. That's fine. I'm gonna tackle all the silver now. Actually, really quick. Hello. Photoshop's like having a fucking panic attack. Oh, you know what's funny? That's not hair. I've done this to myself. Yep, it's me, and I'm pretty sure, I am pretty sure the answer is that the USPS, they are just, like, unless they think that, like, if they pick up the box, and it's like, bro, this thing is fucking 4,000 pounds, there's no way in hell that this is, like, just a book, then they'll go through it, you know? But I think for most people who are shipping book products, we're not, like, putting in there, like, a bunch of random shit, you know? But, like, I've shipped teas, I've shipped, like, extra, like, stuff in there. Like, if they pick it up and they go, yep, that feels like a book, they're just gonna... Like, I've even walked up to the front of, like, the post office and, like, talked to the clerk, because normally you can't do it through the kiosk, you have to do it through the actual, like, post office worker themselves. And, like, they're like, what is this? I'm like, media mail. And then they just don't even fucking ask what's inside it. They're not like, is it a book, a DVD, a pamphlet, a piece of music? Like, they're not going to ask you. They're just going to, like, believe you when you say, because most regular people don't know what media mail is. And, like, I would have never known about it if I had not talked to another guy who happens to be an author, a self-pubbed author, in the line with the post office, and he was just this elderly black man who decided to impart wisdom upon me like some fucking sage that appeared out of thin air. I feel like I probably talked to like a fucking like Devo or some shit. Some grand spirit from beyond the grave or something. And like he was like, do you ship media mail? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, you should. And I was like, oh my god, old man. You just saved my ass. So, yeah, that's what happened to me. And then I've effectively been doing that ever since. And I've not once been questioned at all. He was a little old guy that wrote westerns. Everybody hydrate. Also, don't shrimp. I think we got another self-care combo on the way. Yep, sit the fuck up. Don't shrimp. Be good. Be nice to yourself. Yep, that guy definitely saved a life that one time. He was a good guy. Yeah, and it, like, sucks. You know, that's, like, effectively for us, it's, like, the only way that we as creators can really hope to keep things kind of affordable for people. And it's kind of one of those things where, you know, if people do in the future want to support creators, then it's just like, sorry, buckaroos, you guys got to pay for shipping, and that's just the way that it works. The one thing I don't like about Kickstarter that doesn't make any sense for me is that the shipping counts toward the total final product cost. That's a little bit confusing, or final like backer goal to me. It's a little confusing. I don't know if Kickstarter or if BackerKit is the same way, where it's it counts as well toward the final cost or the final goal. Because I wish shipping was just charged separate afterward, like after the fact, you know? Because that would just make my math a little bit easier, but... No, I think it's been that way. As long as I've run Kickstarters, the shipping has counted toward the funding goal. And now, granted, now they do this thing where I think that there is an option if you are a backer that you can choose to pay for shipping now or pay for shipping later. And so they send people like these shipping vouchers. I've had a lot of people do that through the Pledge Manager where they're like, why was I given a voucher for shipping? And it's like probably because you already paid for shipping, you know, but like I don't know how any of that works. And I think personally on the user end, it makes shit more confusing. Like it's just making things more, yeah, more confusing. So I'm not a fan of it. I don't know why they're doing it like that, but just another reason why like fucking Kickstarter's not that great, really. Y'all, I like painting metal. Wee! Alright. Wow. Would you look at that? To protect the king and his fool, blood in the fire, watch it burn. Ash to ash, now it's our turn. Take the kingdom down and smash it to pieces. I feel like we are not any different than effectively feudal serfs trying to fight King George. Does that make sense? I don't know if anybody else can vibe with that. That's what it feels like. I literally, to Jay's yesterday, they released the trailer for, or there was like a trailer, I don't know how recently they released the trailer for Silent Hill, or Return to Silent Hill, I guess is what they're calling the film. But it's based off of Silent Hill 2, and I'm actually quite excited for it. I thought that the first Silent Hill film was really fucking good, actually, all things considered, given the subject matter and how good the games are. But Silent Hill 2 is like a masterpiece, so I'm worried they don't fuck it up. But I got done watching it, and I was like, Jace, I wish I was in Silent Hill. And it's fucking crazy to me that literally being in Silent Hill right now would somehow be better than whatever this is. Because you know what I don't have to do in Silent Hill? Pay my student loans. Donald Trump can't get me in Silent Hill. And if he was in there, he'd get eaten. I'm pretty sure. That's how that works. I don't want to be one of the Silent Hill monsters. I just want to get kind of fucked up in there. You know what I'm saying? People are like, how are you doing? And I'm like, well, I asked to be teleported into Silent Hill the other day, so on a scale of 1 to Silent Hill, on a scale of 1 to Pyramid Head. The only reason I was thinking about it is because this track has like a, it has that like siren sound, that Silent Hill like air raid siren sound. Wow. feel like I am slowly losing my mind. I have never related more to Batty from Ferngully in my whole life. I'm like, I get it. I get why he's like this now. He's become relatable. I get it, my guy. I understand. About the ghosts that haunt me still. I probably won't finish this today. Welcome to 8 Hour Painting Town. I'm your host, Tycho. But honestly, this may end up making up some, like, fucking end papers or something, actually. Because I'm going to be putting end papers into the thing. So if I do that... that's where these illustrations can go. So they're definitely not made in vain. I'm not going to do anything here. Oh yeah, no, that's kind of why this Kickstarter is so expensive, is because it's going to have the bookmark, the cloth bookmark, it's going to have the little fabric end protectors, it's going to have end papers, it's going to have sprayed edges, it's going to have foil, it's going to have a dust jacket. This thing is going to be the most extra shit anybody's ever seen in their whole life. So extra. Effectively, this Kickstarter really is to pay for review costs for the books, because I don't really pay myself anything to do this, and then to just actually get the books printed. So that's really what I'm going to be telling people, is it's like, that's what this is for. Man, I'm like having a blast drawing this character though, because Kid Me would be really excited. I started drawing this, or like writing this book when I was like 18. I was still pretty young. But I think that they'd be pretty stoked about this character. Little Kid Me. It's really what I think about when I write. It's like, would little Kid Me really like this shit? Would I have wanted to read this growing up? I'm still trying to figure out if I want to go through or like actually distribute the special edition books, or if I want those to only be available through Kickstarter at all, like the omnibuses, and that's it. Or if like I'm gonna do it to where people get the discount on the omnibus, or if it's just I'm gonna treat it like a pre-order. It's like you get it before everybody else, and like it gets published 3 months later, so you get it just before everyone. Like, I don't know what the best way to go about that is, or what is most satisfying to readers, to actual customers. Yeah, no, because I definitely, I know that they will, because that's also why I chose them, because they are print on demand, and that's great. I don't have a store that I sell through. I mostly distribute through Amazon, and I know that they can distribute to Amazon, which is totally fine. But that's the question: is it's like, do I do that, or do I instead have it be where that's like the only chance, the Kickstarter is the only chance for you to be able to get it, and that's what makes it really exclusive? Or do I just not have the reach as an author to be able to do that yet, and it's like there's no point, and I can just have it effectively function as a pre-order? It's like, if people back it, hooray, and they get it like 2-3 months before everybody else, and then I put it on like live on Amazon later. So if they want it by like Christmas, for example, then they gotta do that. Or if they want all of the special rewards, they gotta do that way. I was like, which brush do I want to use? It's this one. It's like leather. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you right. You right. Yeah, because then otherwise the only way you can get them signed is if you buy. Well, because like the thing is I sell signed copies through my Ko-fi store though too. So that's the other downside of that, is that I do have a whole Ko-fi store where I will stock books that people can buy signed versions of. Now, granted, it doesn't happen often, or I should say my Etsy store actually. It doesn't happen often at all, actually. Very, very rarely. And most of the time people only they only will buy books from me in person if I'm at conventions, for example. But oh, actually, I did not like this. I do not like this, Sam. I am. But I mean, I guess the exclusive stuff, all the stuff that you get through it, the prints and the tea and all of that shit, it becomes unavailable. Like, there's going to be a chai that's available through this particular campaign, for example. It becomes unavailable if you don't back the campaign. And this is the last book in the series too, so it's like you got to just kind of do it or it's gone. There's lots of school spirit and plenty of time for fun. I love that fucking song. It's so uncanny. It ends in the most uncanny ass way. That's even like a hint into this book. Like, it's foreshadowing. I've been contemplating reducing the overall price of my King of Dust hardcover, because now the exclusive period from the Kickstarter is over, so I'm thinking about dropping it to like $30. But I don't know if that'll make all the Kickstarter backers mad. Yeah, true though, Tess. I'm in the same boat. I'm like, sorry, Canada gets $18 shipping, and that's just like literally the only thing that that's it. That's all I can do. Unfortunately, that's like as good as it gets. Yeah, I might reduce it because I'm noticing, like, most of the time people don't care. Like, if they really want the cover, they'll get it. But I think with the way that the economy is right now, people just legit can't afford anything. So it's like, if I can make shit more affordable for people, then I'll do it. But my con season next year is effectively going to be like, all right, guys, we're trying to get rid of fucking everything. Everything must go. It's time for it to go. Inside my head. Yeah, I was just going based on weight, you know, so like it's kind of a rough eyeball. And if you go through USPS, they're typically a lot better about it. My mom just sent me a sad face and she just said, I have no Christmas lists. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you not know what you want for Christmas, or do you need me to send you what I want for Christmas? Because I don't know how to tell you that I'm drowning in work and I actually haven't had 5 seconds to sit down for myself. I'm like, oh, I almost said something bad. I gotta watch out. I could get assassinated by the U.S. government on stream. I don't need to. Ooh, I almost said something controversial. I wish I could ask for a vacation. Unfortunately, I don't get paid time off. So that's the it's like sad reality, is that I actually like legitimately physically can't ask for time off. Otherwise, I can't pay my rent. It's pretty fun. It's an incredible time to be alive. Now I know my mom and dad are having a hard time too, so it's like the most I'll probably ask for is like more money to just fucking leave. That was like all of our wedding gifts too. Was like, give us money to just get the fuck out of here. As an adult, I'm like, this is sad. A lot of the stuff I'm excited for doesn't like come out until next year. I don't want to grade all these kids' homework, man. Don't want to do it. I just want to finish this like drawing and be like, yeah, I'm having fun, and then call it. But yeah, 20 something ish was what I was seeing. 18 to 20. And like, in my philosophy is if I lose a couple of bucks, like profit, quote unquote profit, you know, on shipping for international customers, that's effectively, I'm like willing to eat that cost. Like, I don't mind. I'm like, whatever at that point. I think like on my Kickstarters, I get legitimately maybe 2% of all of my backers are international, not even. Hello? Photoshop, come on, buddy. All right. Okay, we got amethyst, we got opal, and we got moonstone, I think. Are you back from Ad Town? Did you make it? We weren't really talking about anything crazy, to be honest, though. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to... Whoops. I forgot to do color dodge and stuff on, or color variants on the metal. I'll figure it out eventually. I'm assuming this is a shadow layer. I love how this tutorial has no explainer on what's going on here. I think this is going to go to multiply, actually. Oh yeah, valid. That's not a bad thing. Yeah, yeah, because you're either gonna take the hit when you ship to people, or you're gonna take the hit when you, like, from your own profit, effectively. It's like one or the other. What a time. I love how you cannot even see that up against the background. Let's see, we got bottom and a little bit of reflected light. Oh my god. Oh, you know what, it would have been good? Not forgetting this one. Doing these a little bit differently than I've done in other illustrations, but it's because I don't want to, I'm lazy. Okay. Oh, this is a texture step. I see. And then this is like effectively subsurface. So I don't have to worry about that level of detail on this because these gems are not that big. Like, you cannot even fucking see it. This one is big enough for me to care. And I like this turquoise, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go with this. We're going to go color. Amigo, thank you. Okay, so now I'm gonna make a new layer and I'm going to hit this with, this is gonna be color dodge. Because you have to be able to add this reflection, otherwise it doesn't look right. And it even reflects on itself. But that's pretty much all I needed to do. All right. I think I'm going to also follow the same tutorial here, just for a different color. And then I'm going to overlay that labradorite like color, or the opal color, over top of it, whatever that ends up being here. We'll see. Different scenes from a movie into one image. That one assignment. Let's see. I'm gonna need you to maybe clarify. Was it referring to like color? Was it a color script? Unfortunately, my whole life is such a blur. Okay, cool. I'm glad it was a color script. Yeah, because like my whole life is such a blur. I don't know. Typically, like for Pixar, they'll combine, like, effectively it's to read the color tone for a film. They'll combine multiple scenes into kind of like one comic book style panel, give or take, is kind of how I would describe it. And then, it's used for effectively like color tone. Yeah. Other studios don't necessarily combine them all into one image. But yes, color script is the word that you are looking for. If you Google particularly like WALL-E color script or things like that, you'll get a better idea of like the way that they're supposed to look. My favorite color script, though, is actually for the movie Scoob. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I really want to. Their lighting keys and color scripts are fantastic. Yeah, I would check out, if you want to do more of a multi-combined thing, then I would definitely check out WALL-E. WALL-E is like the best example. Start with a sketch, then you're going to kind of just rough everything together. And it's okay if things blend together. But yeah, WALL-E is a great example of that. God, color dodge really is the absolute fucking goat. Alright, let me go get, I'm gonna go get, is it Labradorite? Oh no, Labradorite's really pretty, but it's the wrong color. It's opal. Fire Opal. This is what I love about the King's stuff, is that he doesn't stick to like the like quote unquote traditional like color palette for his district. He's like, he fucking goes rogue. Okay, so now we're going to use this. I don't know which this is going to be yet. I'm going to actually go for this one first so that I can kind of see what's going on. Why would you do this? Hello? I said enter, you demon. Please, for the love of all things good. I'm pretty sure Photoshop this had a fucking conniption. Oop, I saw it, but hold on, I gotta figure this out first. I feel like lighter color looks pretty nice. Because then I won't lose the colors. We got a self-care combo. Everybody hydrate. Everybody sit up nice and straight. All right, I'm almost there. I don't think I'm going to get done with this in 10 minutes. Actually, you know what? I'm so lazy, though. I'm so lazy. Like, legit. Because I have the power. Thank you. I'm going to leave it as normal. I'm going to reduce the opacity just a little bit. But all this bad boy needs, no joke, so a little bit of that. Look at that. I don't even need to do anything. I can just fucking use a photo. I just want to see the little Santa hat on Rolo again. He's just over here screaming. God, I kind of want to just finish this. I'm so close. Okay, hold on. I'm going to get up. I'm going to use the restroom real fast. And then I'm going to come back and do the line work on this and some of the other stuff that I need to do, because I need to do my Leyendecker lines, I need to do my ambient occlusion shadows, and I need to do my line art and special effects. If there's like, I'm going to do magic, which I probably will. But yeah, I'm going to just be right back because I should be going and doing other work, but I want to finish this. I got maybe like 10-15 minutes left on this piece, so I will be right back. I return. Okay, let's fucking fly. Here we go. Okay, Leyendecker lines. I don't know why Photoshop opened every single folder that I have. But I'm like, but are you good? Like, every single one, I'm like, you did not have to do that. Photoshop's struggling today. Not really anything crazy. All right. Hello? Whee! wonder if I should do brown, but still a little bit. Yeah, I like that more. Darker. Y'all, I need a break. I wish things was not fucking so expensive. Like, why is rent like $3,000? Everybody stretch. Don't let your body die. We're all just slowly dying. God, this is so much line work. All right. I've got so much to do. I wish that Denver would elect a, like, Zoran Mamdani that would just knock the fuck out of the cost of living crisis here. That would be pretty fucking sick. Mr. Man, I know, I woke you up from your slumber and now you're like, where the fuck is my food? Come here. I'm sorry I gave you a kiss and awoke you from your slumber. Come here. Don't claw it. Don't claw it. Just come up here. Just, why are you a menace? Oh! He jumped on me. I know, I don't have Fancy Feast up here, believe it or not. I know it may come as a shock to you, Mr. Man. Mr. Man, no. I'm gonna kiss you. But you have to be good. I'm trying to do this fast, Mr. Man. I'm trying to do it fast so that I still have time for lunch today. Let me do this. No, Mr. Man. Yeah. I don't want to just, like, hold you. I need both hands for my work. But I have to, like, lock you in place. Otherwise, you fucking run all over the place. And that ain't good, Mr. Man. That ain't good. Alright, let me just kind of... No, Major, no. I'm gonna eat your head. I will eat you. No, Mister. No, I will eat you. Please, Mr. Man. Oh, he gave me a kissy on my chin. Gosh darn it, you're so cute, Mr. Man. That was really cute. Yeah. I love you too, Mr. Man. Gosh darn it. Nope. Why do you smell like stinky farts, Mr. Man? You smell so stinky. No, you can't go up there, Mr. Man. No. No. Stop it, mister. No. Oh my god. I need both my hands to do this. I know. You're shocked. No, mister. No. Where's Bitsy when I need her again? No! You can't do that. You're not allowed to go up here. I said I only had 3. Okay. Now I need purple. For AO shadows. But also could be kind of cool to have a big old cast shadow across his body, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That could be pretty neat. So I'm going to do another layer, and we're going to do one that's kind of across like this. I think I'm going to maybe reduce the hard line a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do... I know that this is going to look crazy. Actually. Hold on, I need more saturated cast shadow. This is actually going to be on another layer. And it's actually going to go like this. Like that. And then we're going to go like this just a little bit. I'm going to reduce the opacity just a touch, but I really do want it to be like a cast shadow here. Yeah, nice. I don't know, it just seems right. Okay, so now we got lines, AO, Leyendecker, cast shadow. Now it's time for magic special effects. No. Let's see, I'm gonna try and get this to go over and back. And I need to erase it out from, I'll actually just select this, invert, and then erase this. Same thing, select, inverse, and then I'm gonna erase it out of here and out of his arm, but then it comes back around. And then I'm gonna do a very large one that is in front, but we're gonna do that in a second. I need like a bokeh. I made like a bokeh brush at one point. I made this thing. Actually, I don't like this. Actually, I realize I need a light, actually. We need like specifically one right there. There we go. Okay. I was like, hopefully I'm going to write the scene where the pirate captain ends up in the future and starts destroying stuff. Oh no, you're the blanking. The blanketing is upon us. Oh, I believe in you. I want to really make this look like hot sun. It's going to be like hard light probably. But I'm going to need to tone down the opacity by like a lot. And then I want a texture on the back of this. This bitch. Thanks, free textures. Oh, that's why you're freaking out. Remember when I was like really eager about that one dot up there? Okay, there's like a couple things that I realize I still need to do. Or like one more thing maybe, I realize. Oh my god, Mr. Man, you just scared the shit out of me, dude. Please don't do that ever again. Just give me just like 5 more seconds, dude. I know. Come on, buddy. Come on, brush. Hand, I know you can do it. Oh, that's better. You know, the more I look at this, the more I don't like this specifically. Because it's kind of freaky looking. Okay, pretty though. I probably will need to like move this, but or adjust later, but I think for right now this is pretty good. As like a character illustration to try and get people to read this book, I feel like it does what it needs to do. Alright. Well, there's that. I gotta go do real people work now and feed this cat so he stops trying to fucking fight me because he's scary. Thank you to everybody who hung out today. Thanks to all the people who have subscribed to my YouTube recently and to those who have subscribed to my Liminal House social media as well. I appreciate it. Just as a reminder, if you need any editing services, author services, those kinds of things, I am offering everything right now at 50% off. That includes social media branding kits. It includes Kickstarter setup. It includes social media calendars setup. It includes book roadmaps. It includes editing, all of those things. So if you need literally anything, check out liminalhousebooks.com and go to the services page to learn all of the stuff that I offer and what I can potentially do to help your book. I got one more slot still open for the month of November, and I got 3 open for December. But this offer effectively only extends for the next 6 clients. So go and check it out if you need anything. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and go. Tomorrow I'm taking off again, and I'm going to try and just relax. We'll see how it goes. But it's probably going to be a personal writing day for me. Either way, thank you again. Now we got to do about 1 million more illustrations. We got to do one of Parissa and the King and Perseus and Ami. So that'll be the next thing. Or maybe Perseus and Ami can go and be on their own illustration together. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I hope everybody has a good day. I will talk to you soon. I'll see you on Wednesday for comics. And yeah, bye-bye.